One tiny invitation mix-up turned a normal masquerade into the funniest costume disaster the village had ever seen. Soft lantern light fills the village hall as Chubby Max arranges invitations, masks, sweets, and decorations for the masquerade. Everything looks ready, but one unnoticed mistake is about to transform the party. Timmy Tinker arrives first, waddling through the doorway in an enormous yellow duck costume. The feathers brush the chairs, the padded feet make walking difficult, and sitting down becomes a performance. Chubby Max tries to remain serious but quickly begins laughing. Buddy Popcorn trots in and stares at the costume with fascination. More guests arrive, each carrying an official-looking invitation. Then the true confusion becomes obvious. The village chief appears dressed as a baby with a bonnet and oversized rattle. The school teacher enters as a pirate, ordering everyone to defend an imaginary ship. The carpenter arrives with fairy wings and a sparkling wand. He immediately pretends to repair every chair with magic. Chubby Max checks the list and realizes the costumes were assigned to the wrong guests. For a moment, he thinks the masquerade is ruined. Then the village chief crawls across the floor like a baby, and the hall erupts with laughter. The teacher raises a paper sword and demands the musicians surrender. The carpenter waves the wand over a loose chair and announces that the magic worked. Timmy waddles between them, becoming one of the funniest characters in the room. Nobody wants to change costumes anymore. The mistake has made the party more entertaining than the plan. While everyone is distracted, Buddy notices a golden crown on a nearby chair. He sniffs it and carefully lifts it with his mouth. Buddy places the crown on his head and sits upright in the center of the hall. The crowd notices and accepts the new arrangement. Buddy is now the king of the masquerade. He watches the dancing seriously while guests bow whenever they pass. Chubby Max decides there is no reason to correct anything. He announces that the evening will continue exactly as it is. Music begins, lanterns sway, and every mismatched costume becomes part of the celebration. The pirate teacher leads a ridiculous dance line. The village chief shakes the rattle like a musical instrument. The fairy carpenter blesses the dessert table before taking a cookie. Timmy dances in the duck costume but keeps bumping into empty chairs. Each accident makes the room laugh harder. Buddy remains on his throne, leaving only to inspect the sweets before returning. As the night deepens, the party becomes less about costumes and more about enjoying how the plan failed. Chubby Max finally explains that the invitations were mixed up. Instead of complaining, the guests cheer. They agree the wrong costumes stopped everyone from worrying about looking impressive. No one could stay serious while the village leader crawled like a baby and the teacher shouted pirate commands. The mistake gave people permission to be playful. Even Timmy begins enjoying the duck suit that embarrassed him earlier. The more confidently he waddles, the louder the laughter becomes. By midnight, most cookies are gone. The floor is covered in footprints, and the hall feels warmer than ever. Timmy and Max laugh, realizing the best part of the celebration was never planned. Buddy still wears the crown, satisfied with his accidental promotion. Eventually, the music slows and the guests leave one by one. The village chief gives a final baby wave. The pirate teacher promises to return the imaginary ship safely. The fairy carpenter gathers the props and checks the chairs. When the hall is quiet, Timmy and Max begin cleaning. They fold cloths, clear the table, stack chairs, and collect the masks. Buddy curls up in the corner with the crown still on his head. Moonlight enters as the final lanterns begin to dim. The celebration has ended, but the hall still seems to hold the laughter. Chubby Max thinks about the mistake that nearly caused panic. If everything had gone to plan, the night might have been elegant and organized. Instead, the mix-up created something more memorable. Looking around the empty hall, Max realizes the mix-up worked because everyone chose to play along instead of blaming one another. The costumes were wrong, but the mood grew warmer. The laughter came easier, and strangers joined in the same joke. A failed plan became a shared story simply because nobody was afraid to look a little silly. It reminded everyone that perfection is not always what makes an experience special. Sometimes the best moments appear when people stop fighting change and enjoy it together. Timmy looks at the oversized duck feet and laughs before removing the costume. Buddy wakes, stretches, and follows Max toward the door like a king leaving his kingdom. The final lantern is extinguished. Outside, the night air is cool and the village path glows beneath the stars. Max locks the wooden door while Timmy looks back at the silent hall. They walk home with Buddy beside them, still carrying the crown. By dawn, the village hall rests after its most chaotic masquerade. And the three friends carry one simple lesson into the new day. When a harmless mistake changes the plan, laughter, flexibility, and a little imagination can turn confusion into a memory everyone wants to keep.